Hi, it's your girl Sherry Lynn, and you're watching Sweep the League on Alamo City Podcast Network.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League.
Well, Joe, if you were a betting man, which a lot of people are betting men, you probably would have made the bet that we wouldn't be returning this quick. Probably shouldn't have listened to Jonte Porter on bets or anything like that, because then you would have gotten in trouble. Nonetheless, man, Sweep the League is back, Joe. Rock and Derek and Gio, the whole crew's coming back. I think we left a little bit of money on the table to bring all those guys back as well on our brand new NIL deal. With the Alamo City Podcast Network, that whole thing came through, man. Joe, you're on this. You're on the stream with us now. That's part of it here. We're going to be coming to you guys on Fridays for sure. 3 o'clock, 3 to 4, 3 to 4:15, 3 to 4, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But we're going to come to you on Fridays. Just a quick rundown, man. We took a hiatus. It was all on me. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't contract issues, nothing like that. It was all on me. My work schedule got a lot hectic. I'm able to control it a little bit more. So we went to one day for the show. It's going to be on Fridays, 3 o'clock. You might see me pop in on the afternoons a couple of times here and there, doing a quick show, something like that. We have some interviews lined up as well. We got some stuff lined up. We had to work through some issues, but we got it all. But again, like I said, Gio and Rock and Derek, they're all going to be joining me again here. I'm joined by Joe Garcia today. Man, Joe, a lot's happened, man. I mean, crap, dude. Yeah, we've been having some issues and everything. Is everything calmed down? Everything settled down? I'm not walking into a flame or anything.
Nah, we're all good, bro. We're just having a lot of fun right now. Just talking sports, pop culture, that kind of stuff. We've had a lot of things happen though. Sports wise, you've had the end of the Spurs season. You've had the start of the play-in tourneys with the Western Conference, Eastern Conference. You have, the other things that are going on now, which are going to be the start of the NBA playoffs now, that are going to be kicking off. So whole bunch of stuff happening. Then you have the MLB going on. You have UTSA football that's on the horizon here. You have the Brahmas playing. You have the Missions playing. It's like this is the time that everybody wants to be alive and be able to talk sports, not just on the national level, but on a local level. And you also have San Antonio FC, SAFC, that has kicked off their season as well. So we got a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah, we do, man. Jumping right into it, Joe, the Spurs. I mean, the season ended before the season even started. I mean, there was nothing that was telling me that the Spurs were going to do anything. I think one of our guys, Eric Hicks, was telling that I went back in time to Back to the Future. I'm Biff Tannen because I had the almanac when I said the Spurs would win 22 games, and sure enough, man, 22 games. I mean, that's what they ended up winning. So if you want to put all your money, put it on me. Put it on me because I can tell you what happens in the near future. Like I guarantee you that something's going to happen this weekend. We're going to have NBA basketball. We're going to have NBA basketball this weekend. But tonight we have the rest of the play-in games, man. We've got what, Joe? The Pelicans and the Kings tonight. Then we have Miami and Chicago. If you were a Jonte Porter, who would you be betting on tonight?
Man, you got to bet on the Sacramento Kings, man, to dispatch, the Pelicans easily, dude. I mean, they don't have, Zion. He's injured. I mean, the team has been depleted. They just don't look the same now. So, unfortunately, I think the Sacramento Kings are going to be able to go ahead and dispatch the team. While it might be close, maybe the first 2 quarters, I think by the midway through the third, they'll start pulling away. And by the fourth quarter, it should be all she wrote,
What happened to Zion? I mean, it was a hamstring injury.
Hamstring injury, dude. I mean, he just pulled up on a play, and that was pretty much it. So
it's probably because when you have all that weight above the waist and you're putting all that pressure on.
I would say so, Rudy. I mean, he's lost some weight, but the guy is still built like a freaking barrel, So it's like, he needs to shed some pounds, man, so he doesn't pull up lame again. I mean, he had 40 points before he pulled up lame. So I mean, he was on his way to a stellar game, and it's
I,
unfortunate.
I agree with you on the Kings, man. I think the Kings are going to end up beating the Pelicans, and it's going to kind of be a rough patch for the Oklahoma City Thunder if the Kings, because the Kings can definitely run and gun with the Thunder. That's going to be an interesting series if the Kings win. If I was Jonte, I'd be throwing parlay money out and down the drain. What's funny is Jonte, man, he was making like 2.1 million, and on his bets he won like $21,000. He screwed up his entire NBA life just to make 21 grand in bets, Joe. I mean, what what makes a person do that? I mean, I'm not buying the Otani shit. I'm not. I still think Otani had a play in that. So that's gonna have to come out pretty soon too, man.
Yeah, something's amiss there, man. It's going to be interesting to see what the investigation on that reveals. But
Mhm.
I mean, with this brother, man, from the Toronto Raptors, man, that's just plain stupid. I mean, base bare minimum, he's making what 1.8 mils, 1.3 mils, something like that
Something
on a
like that.
base salary, for being in the NBA. And you're trying to go ahead and throw games to maybe earn a little bit of scratch, like your side hustle, kind of like an Uber or Lyft driver. It's
Yeah.
like, why do that if you're not going to really be getting any type of money? And the thing is that the guy's making the bets that he was telling, hey, I'm hurt, I'm going to go ahead and not be able to perform at
Mhm.
my peak level and whatnot. That guy actually won $1 million betting, so I'm like, I
Well,
mean,
I don't have issues with players betting. I have issues betting when you can determine the outcome of the game.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I have issues with. So, I mean, yeah, I guess is it easier to? Well, no, it's not any easier to bet on one sport than the other. But if he's betting on whatever and whatever else, that's fine with me. I don't have an issues with that. I mean, betting's all over the place. You can do fantasy football as betting. I mean, you're gambling all over the place. I don't have issues with that at all. But it's a fact of the matter that he's been on himself and the Toronto Raptors. That was probably the issue right there. I get the lifetime ban, but man, other shit has happened in the NBA, and these guys don't get a lifetime ban. I mean, who do you have? Miles Bridges, having that whole shit in Charlotte. I mean, there's a lot of different players that did some crappy stuff that they don't get a lifetime ban, but nonetheless, Jonte is not DeJounte, Jonte Porter. And I can't say DeJounte. I'll get crucified in San Antonio for talking bad about DeJounte Murray. I don't know about that. We got the other matchup, man. The Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat. Now, Jimmy boy, he's I mean, apparently he's got an injury too. He's dealing with. Apparently, him and Hero are fighting on the bus. I have no idea what that was going on. If you had to put a Porter parlay, as we're calling this, on this game, what would it be?
Oh man, on this one, dude, I gotta say that unfortunately for the Heat, I think their season's going to come to an end. I would expect the Bulls to move on, just simply because I think the Bulls aren't riddled with injury as much as the Heat is. But unfortunately for the Bulls, even if they do go ahead and get past the Heat, the Bulls are going to get dispatched easily as well in the first round of the playoffs. More than likely, they'll be lucky if they win one game. If not, just get swept outright. So, I mean, that's their prize that you win. You get to move on and then get knocked out of the first round immediately. So keep your travel agents on that speed dial button.
I got you, man. I got you. I think tonight, I think Chicago does win tonight. I'm taking the Bulls over the Heat. They get the pleasure of getting my NBA champion pick beginning of the season, before the season started, when I was telling everybody, Joe, that the Spurs are going to suck. Oh no, we suck again. But your boy Jimenez, and I saved his pinned tweet. He deleted it a long time ago, and he said
Oh,
this is like a 40-win team and all that. I'm going to blast out here pretty soon here, but when everybody thought the Spurs were going to be a play-in team, possible playoff team, Victor's going to bring 20-plus wins in the season, I said, hold your horses, not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso once said. I picked them at 22. So I'm saying my Boston Celtics pick is who I have to win the NBA title this year. Will they do it? They better, because I kind of put a little bet on that for Boston to win this season. So if you had to pick one team going into the playoffs, because the playoffs start tomorrow, man, who would you take in the playoffs to win the the title here?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think, just looking at the current construction of the team being the reigning champs, being the Denver Nuggets, I'd have to say, in my opinion, I believe that they're the favorites until somebody can dispatch them in either the first or second round of the playoffs. I think Denver's still going to be that team that will go ahead and return back to the promised land. I don't believe that the Timberwolves have what it takes. I think they're kind of that team that's kind of fool's gold. They play good during the regular season, but when it get battle tested in the playoffs, they're going to wind up folding like a cheap $5 lawn chair, man. That's about all she wrote for the Timberwolves. I think they're just one of these teams that they're not indicative of what their record reflects. So when they get into the playoffs, we've all seen what happens when they perform. They're not up to par, and that goes back to the Kevin Garnett days too. Like it always seemed like the Timberwolves could never get over the hump.
Yeah, and I'm actually picking the Suns on that series. I don't know. I mean, I hear people talk about the
Oh, we lost Rudy. Like, I think it's those gremlins. I'll bring him back. Hold on. There you go.
Oh yeah, we're back. So I'm taking the Suns over the Wolves this weekend in this series. I like the Suns now. Man, I don't know, man, because people are saying the Timberwolves are, one of the better defensive teams. They're gonna have, and I'm not gonna bullshit people. I mean, they're gonna have probably the defensive player of the year and Rudy Gobert on the team, but it's not enough, I think, with the firepower that the Suns have. Bradley Beal's been playing really good lately. And of course, you know what KD and Devin Booker can do. All three are hitting on the same cylinder. They're hard to beat. And all you have is really Anthony Edwards. The maturity of Anthony Edwards still isn't quite there. People are calling him.
Those gremlins are up again.
Yeah, the playoffs are a different type of thing. And I'm just taking Phoenix to actually win this series right here. It is Joe Garcia, Rudy Campos Jr. Street League. We are back. We are back. We're going to be coming to you every single Friday from 3 p.m. to about maybe 4:15 or so. We're doing it one day a week right now, but it is Street League. We are back. Just quick shout out, Joe, before we go into NBA playoffs as well. Generation Duo with Brandon Medina. They drop an episode every single week, so be sure to look out for Generation Duo. And then you have Michael Jimenez, MJ Acquired Taste, every morning from Monday through Friday. It's like 10:15 to about 11:30, I believe it is.
11:30, yeah. That's what we do our show, the Alamo City Sportscast. So I'm the producer, and Mike is the host of the show. So we bring that to you every day from about 10:15 to 11:30, Monday through Friday.
Yeah, 10:15, 11:30. It's a good, Mike's a great guy. You can listen to his show right there, kind of go at it, and his takes are, they're acquired. They're just acquired. They're acquired. Like the whole Palapas thing. I didn't get that this morning about Las Palapas tacos. I'm pretty sure you saw that Las Palapas is like the Rainbow Lounge when it comes to tacos, is what I said this morning.
Yeah, that's on that My Essay, best of. And that's just a joke, dude. At this point, it's like the same people win every single year. So it's like, do the viewers really vote that way, or is it more already orchestrated and the outcome's already known? They just make people think that they know they're gonna have a, let's say, some input when it comes to the outcome of the voting. I mean, Las Palapas being voted number one, breakfast tacos in town. I'm like, there are a lot of other better choices. Like, if they really wanted to get down to, let's go ahead and make this a vote about the best tacos, Las Palapas, Bill Miller's, these big boxes, these big box brands, that's not where you want to go, man. If you really want to get down with the gente, you have to go ahead and put out the real mom and pop shops,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's really good taquerias out there. I mean, let's be real, man. You mentioned Bill Miller's. Now, Bill Miller's, to me, I see a lot of love for Bill Miller's, especially from friend of the show, friend of the network, and Hernandez. He loves him some Bill Miller. I know when he comes in from California, he's eating Bill Miller's, like all the damn time. But Bill Miller's is it's okay. I mean, it's what is Bill Miller's, man? Like, is Bill Miller's is like Rick's Cabaret of the taco industry. It's good. You're fine for a little bit, but you've had better. You've been to better places. I mean, people are probably thinking like, why is he comparing strip clubs to taco places? It's probably easier to compare them like that. Taco Cabana is the paradise. You're going to catch something by eating a Taco Cabana. So Taco Cabana is paradise strip club, when it comes to that. It's your first. It's better like this. Taco Cabana is paradise because paradise is your first strip club when you turn 18.
No,
You get to experience the
hopefully Rudy comes back. Hold on. I got him on here. There you go.
okay, so Taco Cabana is like it's the hard tortilla. It's the potato and egg where you still get the show of the egg. You still, you get a little bit of the grime of the pan or whatever they're making it in. Taco Cabana is just like the okay. So then you try to go to the next one, and then you go to Las Palapas. Now it's Las Palapas for me is the Rainbow Lounge. You graduate to the Rainbow Lounge. It's still shitty, but the women are probably same as Paradise or whatever. You're getting decent taco, better establishment. But then you go to Bill Miller's where you get the brisket and egg taco. The tortillas are a little bit better. The one thing I fuck with a lot with that Bill Miller's is the salsa. I won't give any shit to the salsa. So that's why I put it at the Rick's Cabaret level. I mean, you got better girls there than you have at the Rainbow Lounge in Paradise. It's a little bit classier, but it's a classy trash type of place. So that's why, for me, that's the Bill Miller's. I mean, what's the best taco place in town for you, Joe? Because that's like the San Antonio Men's Club, the All-Stars. That rest in peace, All-Stars are not there anymore. But that's the higher establishment, type of taco place.
Well, there's this one little place that I go to, and it's like right in front of John Jay High School. I forget the name of it, man, but it's like a little mom and pop taco place. It doesn't look like much, but man, they got some pretty damn good tacos, especially if you're in the Marbach area. If you know. The one place you're not going to be going is Los Dos Hermanos, because that place got a bad score by the health inspector, man. So
what was the score?
We're not going there. Yeah. Hey, the Rock is here, man. So let's go ahead and bring him on.
All right, that's Rock. So Rock's here.
What's up, man?
What's up, Rock? We haven't seen you in a while, dude. Hey, man, you let the beard grow out a little bit, letting the hair get curly.
Yeah,
but if you do anything, the Rock's still wearing the short shorts. Come on now.
Yeah, sometimes I'm gonna be wearing it tonight. I'm going to oyster bait tonight, so it's Fiesta season.
And don't get me wrong, we'll get into Fiesta talk here as well. But hey, Rock, so I'm kind of getting a little flack from the listeners here because we're comparing taqueria to strip clubs, and for me, just to catch you up, for me, it's Taco Cabana's paradise. It's your first taco. Exactly, you're gonna catch something. I think. I've had the squirts a shitload of times for eating a Taco Cabana back in the day. So, I mean, that's your paradise right there. I put Palapas at the Rainbow Lounge. It's good, but it's not great. I mean, you can flip-flop Bill Miller's with Rainbow Lounge and, Las Palapas, whatever. But then I kind of said that Bill Miller's is the Rick's Cabaret of tacos where, it's good. It's going to get you by. But what I need, what's the best taco place for you now? Edmund's on a roll here. The original donut shop is one of the places. I used to live down the street from there because I used to live off of Fredericksburg near I-10. So Vance Jackson and I-10. I used to live there. So original donut shop was right there for me. But if you had to say one was the San Antonio Men's Club of taco places, where would your San Antonio Men's Club be?
Garcia's.
Now,
This is good.
Jimenez brought up Garcia's. Now, I live in Seguin now. There's a Garcia's here that apparently is like amazing. So I haven't been there yet. But the Garcia's on Fredericksburg, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the one down in the place for my apartment. So Garcia's, I would say Orlando's is pretty, real San Antonio with the big tacos. You're gonna get a bang for your buck eating there. You get the carne asada with cheese and it's good. It does its job, but it's up there. You're gonna feel it after.
Hanover Fist are here says, so which is the Palace? So which taqueria is the Palace? Now, you brought up Rolando's. I mean, Rolando's has the big super tacos. I mean, we're San Antonio, bro. We're San Antonio loud and proud. So when you think of big super tacos, which strip club had the big super women in it? Because that would probably be the Rolando Taco joint.
No,
I
man.
couldn't tell
You
you on
wanted
that
some
one,
big
man.
women on stage that were pregnant and all that. You be going to Tiffany's Cabaret, bro.
So Tiffany's, that's another one. Rest in peace, Tiffany's Cabaret. I don't know. Is that there? I don't think it's there anymore.
I don't know if it is or not, bro. I ain't been there in years, man.
That's what I'm trying to remember. Now I can't remember. I can't lie. Paradise back in the day, they had some pretty sketchy, some pretty voluptuous women there. So probably that was the super taco from back in the day. But the Palace, I mean, I don't know, man. I would say the Palace is what's it made like Tinka Taco when it was here? That would probably be the Palace. I mean, it was good. It was fantastic. You would go there, you know, drinking so much after a certain time, you would definitely go there. No, I'm not turning into Jimenez. My takes make sense. I don't say shit just to say shit. So I'm not definitely turned into Jimenez. It's the Rocky, it's Joe Garcia. Taquitos West Avenue could be Palace level in my opinion. You know, fun fact, I lived right next to Taquitos in West Avenue. So where I used to live, my backyard was the Roy Moss parking lot. So that was my old house back then. I know that place. Wouldn't catch me dead there.
Not a fan of it.
I wouldn't be there.
It's okay.
Y'all have tried it, Palenque. So Taco Palenque,
Palenque.
that's
That's a step above Taco Cabana, dude. It's
not
pretty
great.
good. It's all right, you know, it's all right, but it's a step above like Taco Cabana or like your comparable to Las Palapas. You know, it's kind
I'd
of
rather go to like El Rodeo de Jalisco or Taqueria Jalisco.
Yeah.
Than
How many Bandera taquerias do they have? Like 29?
too many, man. You just go to every block and they wonder why San Antonio has one of the worst health ratings.
well, the one place that I was talking to you guys about that's in front of Jay is Los Compadres Mexicana.
Dude, I was about to say that. I heard you. I walked in Los Compadres. I was asking my girlfriend the other day. I was like, "What's the best bean and cheese?" Because you know, like I think there was a question at my work. They asked that, and she was like, "Los Compadres is so good," and I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty solid."
Los Compadres. I haven't been there. Now, I'm gonna be in San Antonio tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna be on the Ingram Park area, which is again, I got to get into malls because I haven't talked to y'all guys in a while. I went to North Star Mall.
Bulletproof vest, dude.
Well, no shit. I'm gonna get into malls here in a minute, but I'll be in the Marboxo area, so maybe we'll try that Los Compadres. I won't have a taco. I haven't had a taco in going on 5 years. So, but my wife, I'll have her have a taco if we step in there, and I'm gonna say I know Joe Garcia, so we'll get the Joe Garcia discount.
Bean and cheese, dude, or get carne guisada, you know, with cheese. That's always a go-to as well, man.
Rocky's Taco House. There's another place. Rocky, that is Rocky's, right? On McCullough. Didn't we go there one time?
No, we
That's
went
a
to
good-
Panchito.
Panchito. Okay, so Panchitos. Where do the listeners think Panchitos ranks? Because Panchitos
is really
is
good
kind
and
of
has good drinks.
it's kind of a slap, man. It's hit or miss for me, but more of the times it's hit. There was another place called Taco Taco. They're like right down the street from Panchitos. That's another good place there. It's Rocky. It's Joe Garcia. I promise you, Gio and Derek will be back probably next week. We're trying to get them back on as well. We're talking tacos because somebody said Express News said Las Palapas was the best tacos in San Antonio, which I guess 2 people voted and they both work for Palapas. I mean, I don't remember seeing any type of voting happening. I would have not voted for.
Hey, I think Rock knows this, man, but there's this one taco place that sets up like over here by like the Napa Auto Parts on the Marbach Road at night. And there's like, if you go down the road a little bit, there's like this kind of open field where they set up like taco trucks and stuff. Man, some of those taco trucks that hit that spot up right there at night and they set up shop, they're pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie, dude. You go and get your little street tacos from those places, they slap, man.
I've seen that. If anyone wants the best burrito in town, go to Ezekiel's. It's off Babcock near UTSA Boulevard. It's a taco truck that's inside near a car wash. Best ever. It's 3 meats and rice and beans.
I can't step away from Chipotle, man. I'm a Chipotle. I don't even do burritos anymore. I miss burritos.
You just get the bowl Chipotle, or was it Freebird's World Burrito? That's the move.
So yeah, it's Freebirds, it's Chipotle, it's Jersey Mike's. Those are my top 3 go-tos. You know, I tried.
Rice is good, Rudy.
That what?
The jasmine rice is good, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I tried L&L barbecue recently, Hawaiian barbecue.
Oh my god, I love it.
That shit is good. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys want to try L&L Hawaiian barbecue, that shit is good. That was the first time I've had spam in my entire
Oh,
life.
you had
I
to say
know,
the S word, man. I hate
dude.
spam, bro.
Joe, I've never had spam before in my life, but it's like a sushi spam roll type thing.
Freaking nasty.
I can't lie. That was good. I don't know what musabi is. That what it's called? Masuabi. I don't speak that shit. So I mean, it
Hey,
doesn't
man.
matter.
Spam is you just might as well just to get the Crisco, man. Just heat it up and inject it in your veins, dude. It's the same thing. That spam is disgusting, dude. They used to make us eat it when I was a kid, and I used to just spit it out because I hated it. I've been traumatized by the taste or even the smell of spam. If I even see the can, I start going, "Voh."
That's
I
the way I
can't,
was.
dude. I can't, man.
That's the way I was. Spam masubi. Yeah, so this is masubi or something. That's exactly what they're saying. So that's what it is, man. Nonetheless, when you do it, it's tacos, it's whatever. It's San Antonio, man. There's a taco place on every corner in San Antonio. So if you're looking for good tacos, you can definitely, throw a rock and hit a better place in Las Palapas.
I want to
So.
pose a question to the group here, man. Since Rock is really,
Mm.
into going to the, nice places downtown. Now that Fiesta is going to be hitting,
Mhm.
coming in here starting yesterday, and it's already going to be going into the weekend. We got to ask Rock. I mean, what events are you going to go to for one? Because I know you're probably going to go to Oyster Bake, man. Right?
Yeah, I'm getting
Let's
ready
do it.
after this. I'm gonna get a little pregame going, but I'm gonna go to Oyster Bake for sure. I'll be at Niosa, and then other days, listeners, if they see me out, you can catch me in Market Square. I might do this Array Fail event tomorrow. That's by my apartment. But
You're
yeah,
going to be
this
looking at any,
know-
prospects out there as far as linebackers and offensive linemen for the Cowboys, man.
That did not come from me. This is your Charles Barkley moment,
Hey
Joe.
man,
Hey,
I'm
man.
not
This is
looking,
your-
man. I'm cuffed down, so to be me and my girl's first fiesta,
Oh
actually
no,
together.
I'm not saying that you're going to be actively looking for other women. I'm saying there's some big ones out there, dude.
Yeah,
Into the
Charles
Hulk,
Barkley is
the
common.
Sucias, with the black feet. So
Yeah,
Oh wow, yeah. That's your Charles Barkley moment, Joe. That
hey,
is
man, if you've been to
definitely.
Fiesta, if you know, bro.
Oh,
You can look
everybody's been
around,
to
bro.
Fiesta. I'm just gonna say that's wow. That's
No,
wow for you,
those are facts, bro. Facts.
man. So I mean, Fiesta. I'm doing no events, but I'm gonna throw this out there. So Rock's gonna be doing Fiesta. I'm not doing Fiesta because it's too far of a drive, and I'm too old. I'm in bed by 7 o'clock, so I'm not doing Fiesta at all. Rock, you're going to Fiesta. You just named some events. I've got a buttload of stickers. I've got a buttload of merch. People want to take a picture. If you find the Rock, if you can see where the Rock is downtown, and you take a picture with him, post it on your social media, tag Rock, tag whoever, I'll DM you. I'll send you some stuff. But you gotta tag Sweep the League. You gotta tag everything, Alamo City Podcast Network. You gotta do all that shit. Find the Rock. It's like Where's Waldo. You can't miss him because the bottom of his ass cheeks are hanging out of the shorts
No
every
lies,
time.
bro. No lies.
So you definitely can't miss him. And he's in the most colorful shirts all the time.
yeah. Today I think I'm wearing like these.
No. Don't give it away. You don't
No,
give
no, I
away
know.
the
I'm saying I'm
car,
wearing
bro.
some swim trunks today. Have some colorful colors on it today, and like a
What
white
in the
t-shirt.
F are you wearing swim trunks to Oyster Bake?
Hey, it looks like regular shorts.
But you're wearing swim trunks?
It's
Do you
comfortable.
do you cut the netting out of the swim
Yeah,
trunks?
yeah.
So are you free balling in these swim trucks too? Because
Nah,
I mean,
I
what
have
the
breeze
hell?
under, Rudy. Come on.
You're suffocating the boys if you're putting all that shit underneath it.
Are you gonna be wearing a Gallivera?
Yeah, I have some. Actually, my girlfriend bought me some from Mexico. That's where she's from.
Yeah.
All right, we're giving away, dude. I'm giving away. I can do a T-shirt. I have a bunch of stickers. We can do a lot more stuff.
It'll
too.
make it easier on the listeners. I'll be at Oyster Bake. It shouldn't be that hard to find me, but it is. You all know when it's Fiesta. You say that, and it's super hard to find people.
You're gonna be in the line where the beer and the food are, man. So
Oh,
if you see him
100%,
in
man.
line,
Look for me on a chicken on a stick, man.
yeah, say, hey, Rudy said he's good for the chicken on the stick.
Hell,
$15 chicken on a stick.
Okay, so where are you going to be tomorrow?
I haven't decided yet, but I'm trying to figure that out. So I will.
You said
let
Market
you know.
Square. You'll be at Market Square.
Probably Market Square, yeah.
All right, so
Can I ask you all a question? A real question here.
What's
Is
up?
Taste of the North Side a real Fiesta event in you guys'
No.
eyes?
Mm-mm.
$300 a ticket, bro.
No. Hell, I don't.
I mean, if you don't want a certain, let's say, demographic there, tell me you don't want us there by outpricing them by these tickets. $300 a ticket, man. Come on.
Mhm. I was thinking of going. I think it's tomorrow. Taste of New Orleans, and one of my friends were telling me about it. I've never been, but I love anything that does Cajun food. So I was thinking about going that tomorrow.
I've been to Taste of New Orleans probably as many times as the Utah Jazz have won a title.
Yeah,
You almost made it in, but yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah,
by parking.
I've been on my way, and then I said, "F this, I'm not going." So yeah, I mean, I've never been to Taste of New Orleans. And, the thing is that I saw a post on Twitter, Joe, about Fiesta. Somebody said that they like basically despise Fiesta, and that they don't like Fiesta and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting back thinking, like, man, I used to love Fiesta. I used to love going to Market Square. I used to love going to Cattleman's. They had the whole Cattleman's thing there. I mean, fuck it, I loved it. I used to. One of my ex-wife, actually, her and her family used to work downtown doing parking across from Cattleman's. So I was there damn near every night. Now, growing up, man, I can't do it. I can't do Niosa. I barely want to go to the carnival because I don't have enough bullets in my gun to deal with any of the shit at the carnival.
No, you just take your Navaja, dude. You take your knife, bro. You got it ready, man.
So why is it that my favorite Fiesta event is the Flambeau Parade? Because I know after that it's over. I'm like, okay, everything can go back to normal.
Not over, dude. You see, your pain is just beginning. Because after that event is over, you got to walk with all the masses like a herd of cattle.
I remember that.
And you're just funneled into the streets, dude. And you're just trying to get to the parking lot. And then the fun begins because you're tired. You're, dragging an ice chest or whatnot. Or if you have a little one, you're carrying your kid in your arms for like a mile and a half, You got that dad strength. Then you get to the car. And then you got to wait another 30 or 40 minutes just to get out of the parking lot. And then you're stuck downtown.
Add that there's a lot of construction going on right now too.
Yeah, dude, it's a shit show down there, especially for Niosa. It's gonna be a nightmare, man, just to get there.
No, I know, and that's why given I live downtown, it's gonna be way easier for me. Just take an Uber there, stop in Southtown. I don't have to drive back, so.
I honestly, I've come grown to just like when my daughter decides, hey, she's older, hey, let's go do Fiesta, let's do that. I'm okay with it. I'll go down there with her, let her experience it. But man, so Sith in here says I'm taking the SA locals advice and not driving up for Fiesta. I think I've done Fiesta so much where I don't really care for it anymore. It's kind of an old thing to me now. It's like my daughter when she's growing up, she wants to go a little bit more. I'll take her out there. We'll do certain things, but man, I can't do Fiesta no more.
Yeah. If you want to take your daughter somewhere, take her to the King William Fair. That one's actually pretty nice, dude.
Yeah, King William's a little bit pricey, but not as pricey as Taste of Northside. It's going to be like 20 something to get in, but it's more chill.
Family oriented.
Southtown's a really nice place to go through. If you want to go check out a couple of restaurants, bars, it's a real nice area.
Nah, that's the last event we did was last year, and it was that. What is that dog parade or whatever they have?
Yeah, dog parade. Yeah.
That's the closest thing I came to Fiesta last year. I didn't have any will to go anywhere else. I don't truthfully, man, these days I don't like doing any damn crowds.
I want Rock to do a video of him breaking the cascarone and getting the confetti and going like that, like the Salt Bay. Breaking it on somebody's head,
I was breaking a lot of cascarones on my coworkers today.
I bet, dude.
Man.
That's the one thing that you do spend money on when you go to Niosa, man. You're getting these cascarones, dude.
Is that the case? Because I have a crap load in my pantry over here that I can't get rid of.
Give them to Rock.
You could easily go sell them. Go downtown tomorrow, Rudy, and sell them for $5 a pop. $7 a pop
each.
Yeah, or even each. Yeah, $3 each egg.
Nonetheless, man, Fiesta is starting tonight with Oyster Bake. Real quick before I move on, does it start with Oyster Bake or does it start with the Poteet Strawberry Festival?
The Poteet.
I've heard different. I've heard that Poteet, it's not the start of Fiesta.
Well, technically, it's not the start of Fiesta. The start of Fiesta is Fiesta.
Yeah, and it's on Thursday. It's usually near the Tower of Americas, near Hemisphere and all that.
Yeah, as Hanno Viss says, it's called Baby Bake tonight, and then the real tomorrow, like the full oyster bake.
Baby bake. What the
Look at
hell
what
is baby
JC
bake?
said. He says Fiesta de los Niños at Techport on Saturday. Hey, maybe that'd be an event you can go to. The Techport's nice, dude.
No, I've
Yeah.
been to the tech port. That's an hour and a half away from me, man. That's
Yeah, I know you don't like driving to San Antonio. And like I was telling you the other day, man, in about 3 or 4 years, I'm gonna probably be moving out of the city. I had enough, dude.
Come on over. We're doing fine out here, man. You know, it's fun
Yeah.
out here. It's Seguin, Texas. You know, home of the Matadors and home of whatever the Navarro Independent School District. I don't know what their mascot is, but yeah, dude, I was curious about that. But nonetheless, man, we're talking Fiesta here at Sweep the League. It's Rockets Joe. I talked to Gio a little while ago. He's going to jump on next week.
Okay.
We're having some technical difficulties. I'll talk to Derek as well. Edmund's in here. Some Fiesta events start earlier in April, but really it's last night with Fiesta. Taste of Northside was last night too. So, and Sitha says, I just need to hit up a San Antonio Dallas Cowboys pro shop before Fiesta ends for the limited edition Hui cap. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. You know, that's fine with me too. But
Or be like me, and the Cowboys are gonna be a team that's gonna be the team that I'm gonna root for second. I'm gonna root for the Texans this year. I'm gonna be a Texans fan. That they're gonna be my Sancha team.
there, I don't blame you. We'll get into a little bit of that talk here in a minute, man. We are Sweep the League, Rock and Joe Garcia.
JC.
Yeah,
Fiesta where we
okay,
just hang out, do nothing.
that would be decent, man. Before we get into, I wanted to get into a little bit of Spurs talk before we end the show here. It's not going to end anytime soon. But before we talk Spurs talk, get into some NFL because you have the draft coming up next week. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I made mention about malls. So, guys, it was like maybe it had been about 4 months since I last walked into North Star Mall. What in the fuck has happened to North Star Mall? That shit,
Downhill, bro.
That shit is okay. So, did everybody from Ingram just go to North Star? I mean, I saw the coup haircut. I saw the cut haircut, whatever they're calling it these days. I saw, everything I saw at South Park migrated to Ingram. Everything from Ingram migrated to North Star. What the fuck is going on in San Antonio?
No quemas.
Can y'all explain what's going on? Because I felt like, I don't know. I felt like I needed a tetanus shot to walk through North Star Mall.
Yeah, man.
I couldn't tell you, man. It's been going crazy how much crime is it increased at North Star.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there at North Star, man, but they've been having a lot of shootings, and they even had one poor guy get killed while he's trying to get his hair cut and stuff. I mean, you've had shoplifters, raiding the place. I mean, I don't know, man. I think they need to go ahead and have more of a police presence there at North Star since so many people are going there, man. It's like you would think after all this stuff is happening, oh, maybe we need to hire better security or get some police officers there, but nah.
Dude, okay, so the reason why I bring it up is because we walked into Lunchbox at North Star Mall, which everybody should know if you've been there, knows where it's at. We walked into Lunchbox and we're there shopping. My little girl's looking because she's into anime now, so she's looking for some anime stuff. There's a girl that's in there dressed, I don't know how, but I mean, let's just say that when you're trying to fit Humpty Dumpty into a small shirt and Daisy Duke shorts, you're gonna have gravy pour everywhere, and that's just kind of the way it was that she was dressed. She pulls a jacket down and says, literally out loud in front of everybody, screaming, I want y'all to know this is my jacket. Nobody's buying it. If anybody touches it, we got a fucking problem. And my wife and I and my little girl like, what the fuck is going on? So the employees go up, says, yes, ma'am, we'll hold the jacket. She says, you better not let anybody touch my fucking jacket. Just going on and on and on. I'm like, okay, this is our cue to leave. Let's just get out of here. You brought up security, Joe. They literally have like 10 security guards that are in yellow jackets and black vests or whatever. I've seen better security at, freaking Chuck E. Cheese. And little, they didn't do nothing. They just followed this girl, walked out of Lunchbox, followed her around and everything. What more security can you add? They can't put SAPD there. I mean, I have
officers,
but how do you protect the malls even more? I mean, that's my question for everybody out there. It says I got to do a real altercation with those assholes across Buckle who wash
Watch
shoes.
you.
Yeah. So again, yeah, I mean, people that go to North Star know that these security guards are a joke. I
Oh,
mean, big ass joke, man.
Sith was saying even the cops that do walk the mall are cringy. They always spit in game with the Vera Bradley chicks.
Yes, yes. They walk around like this, like I'm somebody. I have a security shirt, motherfucker. You get the security shirt at the Pulga. That you can go get the same damn shirt there, and I can walk around like I'm
Or
security.
just go to a mall that's safe, like the Ingram Mall, dude. That's where I hang out with my gente, dude.
Ingram. Okay, so that was my question. That's what I'm trying to get to. Is Ingram Mall safer than North Star now?
I think it is, dude. No me pasa nada over there, dude.
Is
I've
it
been
because
going there
there's
for
no
years.
more? I mean, shit. I feel safe walking in Rolling Oaks right now half the
Shit.
time when I go into San Antonio.
You want to go to a place that's like locked in time. You know, that was it that one the one mall over there by Fredericksburg. What's it called? The Wonderland Mall of the Americas, dude.
Hey, now I would mess around with Wonderland. I do like Wonderland Mall because they have all the shows there, all the toy shows and all. Since all them securities be living together, yeah, I think so. I think they're all roommates.
Academy dropouts. Damn, that's tough.
Wow, man. Wow. Okay, anyway, that was my rant for malls here in San Antonio. Save the Lake Joker. Say, hey, Generation Duo with Brandon Medina. They release an episode every single week. Check out Generation Duo. Also, if you need an acquired taste, listen to Michael Jimenez every morning, Monday through Friday, 10:15 to about 11:30. It's him and Joe Garcia. It's MJ Acquired Taste, Alamo City Sports Podcast. They talk about everything, and you know what? Whether you want to believe Jimenez or not, it's totally up to you. But I guarantee you, if you put him on a lie detector test, he's going to fail 99% of the time. Am I right, Joe?
You're always right, man. You know what's funny too is that we're making fun of Jimenez because he's like, I want to be an honorary member to the USOA. He's like, what is the USOA? And I said, that's Chris Leja and Sith and all them. They started this little thing, and it stands for the United Sucios of America, right? And they're like, no, Mike, we're not letting you in. But his dog Duncan, he's the official mascot because he's more gangster than Mike is, you know. And he's like, y'all let Duncan in. You're not going to let me in. And they're like, no.
So I think with Chris, because I know Chris and Sid, they're probably listening right now. You know what? In order for Mike to get in, because I don't even think I'm in the USOA or whatever. I'm not in. And if I'm not in, it's okay. I'm okay without that. But if I'm an honorary member, great. But if not, if Jimenez wants in, then he needs to stay outside in a thunderstorm like his dogs did. That is the only way that I would even consider letting him in. So Sith and Leja, if y'all are out there, you've got my idea. You know, you make him sit out in a bad thunderstorm, not by the door either, where he's just getting wet, basically.
Pummel.
Yeah, like he's getting wet, and then you can let him in.
The weird thing though with Jimenez though, if you put him in a thunderstorm, usually in his area, he always gets hail. So there's going to be hail falling, dude. He's going to get knocked the hell out by a piece of hail.
You know what? Tough shit. I mean, you left your dog out there. I mean, you are what you have to do. What you have to do. Hell, I mean, no big deal, man, at all. And you know, that's funny you bring up hail. The most recent storm we had some hail. It sounded like Paul Bunyan had a sledgehammer nailing the roof at my house, man. But here I am. You know, I'm proud to say, you know, there's Hispanics in my neighborhood. But why is it that me and my wife were the only ones that had our cars in the garage at 8:30? Because we're like old people. Everybody else, I look out the window drinking my coffee like I'm cool at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Lift up the window and everybody's rushing to get their cars in. My neighbor texts me, I just got nailed with hell. I'm like, well, stupid, you should have put your damn car in, bro.
Look what Sid says, Rudy, you're an honorary member. You're for the people.
Damn,
Thank you.
there you go.
I am an honorary member of USOA.
There you go, Rudy.
Mike's gonna get mad. He's like, how come I can't get it?
Oh, tough shit. People are getting mad left and right. Who cares? You want to talk about it? Put me on a show with you. I'll fucking talk about it. That goes for anybody out there. I don't give a damn. But hey, let's get into some sports talk, man. We gotta get into some sports talk here. Spurs. I did a show with Jeff today, and it's talking about Klay Thompson, and I got shit because people, you got to listen to the show first. I know Klay Thompson. You know, he's a free agent. Does he benefit from playing with Wemby? Of course, he's a shooter. Any shooter is going to benefit from playing with Wemby. Now, take the year that he had away, 17 points a game. Just let it, hey, forget that. But if you pair him with a player like Wemby and maybe another player, not a superstar, just another player, does it make sense for the Spurs? To me, It only makes sense if you get him at the Burlington discount, where you're paying way less than 60% of the price when it comes to Klay Thompson. Now, anything else? No. You got to, for me, I'm thinking if you're about the $8 to $9 million a year range for Klay Thompson, by all means do it. I'm getting that old Ross and Burlington, what are the other ones? Solo Serve from back in the day. I'm getting those kind of discounts with Klay Thompson. Anything else doesn't make sense to me. What do you guys feel about Klay joining the Spurs? Because that was kind of a hot topic for a while there.
Go ahead, Rock.
I mean, I would like it. I mean, like you said, I would only agree if you get a smaller price for him. I mean, I'm not going to want to sign an older guy to a $15-20 million deal. I mean, you saw him kind of regress this year, but I mean, that just comes in time. Injuries have been derailing his career just a little bit, but I mean, still his resume speaks for himself. I mean, he would easily be the best shooter coming in if he were to be coming on the Spurs. But I think it would help spread the floor a little bit more better. And he would not be your saving grace, but he would be a player that Wemby can rely on when he kicks it out, and that guy that can create his own shot coming off the dribble.
You're right on that, and that's a good point. I mean, the thing too is you brought up is that the regression of Klay Thompson. Let's call a spade, Rock. The entire regression of the entire Golden State Warriors team happened this year. You saw a big transition. They said, well, I had one guy, well, Klay didn't play a whole lot of minutes because he sucks, because he was having a terrible year. Well, you know what? Steve Kerr has to play Kuminga. He's got to play Moody. He's got to play Podziemski. He's got to, because Klay is probably not going to be the part of the future of the Warriors. So you got to do what you have.
And didn't Klay get benched a couple times for those players?
For Podziemski guy got benched for it. But again, is it a knock on Klay? Not really. You've got younger players. You've got to move on from these guys eventually. So the Warriors are one of the teams that I feel is going to be blown up at the end of the year. I mean, well, not the end of the year, but in the summer. They're going to be blown up no matter what.
It kind of reminds me of when the Spurs, when we all kind of knew the Spurs were going to coming towards that tail end, when Duncan was older, Tony a little bit older, Manu. They were still great players in their own retrospect, but they were just coming down, and then it's just hard to save itself. I mean, the Warriors, as we all see, they're regressing, but you still have Curry. But if any changes comes, Curry will probably still be there, but it'll be a completely different team next year, in my opinion.
Yeah, their superstars or their star players are aging out. Klay Thompson, he's been a product of, his athleticism and speed, now kind of leaving him now. He's more of a spot up shooter, which there's nothing bad about that, but he's not going to be that guy that's going to be able to go out there and get you a shit ton of buckets. He's going to be more of that role player now. So the asking price for Klay Thompson, if teams want to go out there and go after him in the open market, I think anywhere between 18 and 20 mil is going to be the average. If you can get him cheaper than that, like Rock was saying, maybe you get him under 10 or 15. Hey, why not? Especially if he wants to play for a team like the Spurs and be paired with Wemby, hey, I wouldn't be against it. But another thing is, the word on the street is Spurs fans are enamored with Trae Young, and they make comparisons to Trae Young and Tony Parker. They're like, Tony Parker's not a very good defensive player, for example, right? He was never known for his defense. He was undersized at his position, but he was still able to score, get buckets. But because he was playing against, not playing against, but playing with better talent that was surrounding him in Tim Duncan, you had Manu Ginobili, you had a good cast around Tony, which helped a lot. Now, if you get Trae Young and you put him in this offense and you pair him along Wemby, yeah, Trae's going to be able to get a shit ton of buckets, but he's also going to be taking away touches from Wemby. So it means that Wemby's numbers will dip down as well. I'm not opposed to Trae coming to the Spurs and playing, alongside Wemby. I think it would be exciting to to see that, but Trae's not going to be a lockdown defender. But again, if you look at some of these other Spurs players, especially on this team currently, none of them are lockdown defenders. This is not the day and age where you're going to be that lockdown defender in today's NBA. You can just go ahead and hold teams here and there when it matters the most, maybe in crunch time, or you're trying to stop a run that they're making. But that's about all you can do. I mean, those days of being a lockdown defender like Bruce Bowen was back in the day, those days are gone. If you even breathe on people now, oh, that's a foul. You stepped on them, or you put your foot down. Oh, they stepped on your foot coming back down. You're not giving them space. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do. But having a Trae Young paired with a Wemby, I'm not going to lie, it'd be exciting. But will it really happen? More than likely, I think not, because I think Trae's going to want to play with a better team that already is in the spotlight. And there's talks that the Lakers are a good candidate to land Trae. as you know, LeBron is aging out as well. He's getting up there in age. So if the Lakers want to stay relevant, they'll go ahead and maybe go make a run at Trey. But we'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind Klay Thomas, though, as you all were saying, coming along and playing with the San Antonio Spurs. I think he brings that winning mantra. You know, he knows how to win. He's won championships. He can go ahead and put that championship knowledge that he has to work and maybe share that with the younger players and kind of help mentor them a little bit. I'm with it, man. I think it'd be great.
You know, pissing off Spurs fans is easy right now because I'm just going to say that I fully expect the same team to come back next year. Maybe one person changing. I mean, if there's one player that gets traded away, it's probably going to be Keldon more than anything. But even at that, I don't see any big moves happening this summer. I keep pounding the rock and pounding my fist on the table saying it's 2025 is the year. You've got a lot of big time free agents coming out then. You've got a lot of guys that are going to be on the last leg of their contract that makes sense to be traded if they're not going to re-sign there. You got a lot of moves you can make in 2025. And that's where I feel you're going to have another year on this, maybe lose. I mean, they could be a playing team next year, depending on what they do this offseason. But you can't fully expect them to go into this offseason wheeling and dealing and, you know, their draft picks. Oh, they got 2 top 10 picks. Who gives a shit? I mean, this draft is not for me. And me personally, you can feel any different if you want. You may feel that, you know, Richards or whatever is going to be the next big guy, and Dillingham's going to be this type of player for the Spurs, and he makes this kind of difference. You know what? I got no movement below the waist when it comes to any of these guys in the 2024 NBA draft. It doesn't do anything for me. Doesn't do jack for me. So I'm kind of going to this offseason still with, sitting back on a lawn chair in the Hawaiian shirt and the short rock trunks with a drink and an umbrella in the drink and in my hand, just kind of chilling, because again, this offseason for me is just going to be one to just chill and see what happens.
Spurs front office is going to be under the gun right now because they're at a critical juncture. If they're going to go ahead and make a move, and they're going to want to surround Wemby with some let's say bucket getters, because that's what the team needs. They need people who can go ahead and create shots or make shots either from the perimeter, but sorely from the 3-point line, from beyond the 3-point line, because the Spurs perimeter shooting and their 3-point shooting has been atrocious. You know, they need people that can actually knock down buckets consistently to kind of open up that lane a little bit more for Wemby to go ahead and do his thing as a center, you know? So we'll see what happens, what the Spurs decide to do. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to bring in superstars. They just need to go ahead and bring in maybe some veteran players that know how to get those shots to go down. That's all I'm saying. And if they do that, I think the team can be a little bit better, maybe 10 games better. Maybe they can be a 30-win team, kind of be flirting around. Hey, well, they going to be making it to the play-in? Probably not. I don't think the Spurs are really going to be making a stride to be flirting with the play-in or getting into the tourney or into the playoffs until Wemby's at least 3rd or 4th season. I think the 2nd season is pretty much going to be another developmental season. I don't really see the Spurs doing anything, even though they should. They need to be aggressive. They want to win now with Wemby on this rookie contract. They need to be aggressive. If they stand pat, they're going to be just like the Cowboys. We're all in, and the definition of all in is we ain't doing nothing.
Man, you can't say the Spurs are like the Cowboys, Joe, because the Cowboys have been promising wins for years. The Spurs know that they're not going to win. You know, they won't admit to it. They're going to get you excited.
At least the Spurs will tank, Joe, unlike the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys can be 0-15 and still think they're Super Bowl contenders.
I got to get Aleja my shirt size as well. He wants to send us USOA shirts, Rudy.
Oh yeah, I'll DM him here. But for anybody that wants to, hey, I'll say it out. 2X, man. I'm glad to say I knocked 3 X's off of my old weight, so
there we go.
2X now, comfortably a 2X. So that would be my shirt size. But you know, the whole Spurs thing, it is what it is, man. I mean, take it for what it's worth. I don't think a big move is going to happen. If it does, you're going to have to give up a whole lot this summer. See what happens this summer.
Yeah,
I mean. I think you and Fernandez talked earlier about it, where the West is going to be in transition, because if you look at teams, Golden State's going to be blown up. I feel the Pelicans are going to be blown up. I think Ingram's gone, so I think that team's going to get blown up a little bit. If Phoenix gets bounced, be sure they're going to probably get rid of some of those guys as well. So that could be another team that gets blown up. The only surefire teams in the West that you can think of are Denver, Oklahoma City. Um, who else? I mean, you could say Minnesota, but there could be a whole thing where Minnesota gets bounced in the first round, and then you may want to see Cat gone. He may want to be gone. So
Clippers might get bounced too.
yeah, and I mean, the Clippers. If the Clippers are another team, they're going to implode. So
there was already Paul George to Sixers rumors already.
So there's another team. So for people to say, well, the Spurs are far away in the West, not really, because a lot of these teams make these changes. They're gonna regress, and that's gonna be bad for them, but good for the Spurs. So you may not have to add a whole lot. Are they gonna be a playoff team? No. Are they gonna be a play-in team? No. I say right now, same team comes back next year, 25, 26 wins, maybe 27 is what I say for right now. Just for right now. That's where I've got that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that's a bad assessment, dude. I think that's probably going to be right on if they will ahead and run it back with the same. See, the thing is, if they run it back with the same team, same players, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to expect the same results. Look at what happened the year previous.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have a very good season, and then you come back again, and they're like, "Oh, we got Wemby. We're instantly going to be better." You matched the lowest wins in Spurs history. You almost beat the worst record. You matched it with Wemby and this team. That goes to show you the priority of what the Spurs are dealing with as far as their talent goes isn't enough to compete in this Western Conference because everybody else has more than one star in their team, that can go ahead and make a difference. So if one star is like not having a good night, you have somebody else that kind of can pick up the slack there. The Spurs, they really don't have that luxury. What the Spurs do have is they have a budding superstar in one Victor Wembanyama, and they have a lot of role players, and I'm saying right now, if the Spurs are going to make any moves, whether it be this season or next, Spurs fans are going to have to say bye-bye to some fan favorites. Right now, to me, everybody on this team is expendable except for Victor Wembanyama. That goes for Vassell, that goes for Sohan, that goes for Keldon Johnson, that goes for anybody. If the Spurs feel that there's a trade that can go ahead and make sense, and of course, anytime you make trades, and this is what a lot of these fans don't understand, if the Spurs are going to make a trade with another team, the numbers have to match. You have to get those numbers to match for the teams that are making this trade. Sometimes that's why a third team has to get involved to assume that salary and then go ahead and immediately waive said player just so they can go ahead and get those picks, which the Spurs have been involved in that in the past. But, that's just the nature of the way the business works. Spurs fans think, oh, we can get 3 or 4 players and they can go ahead and get this one star player from this other team. That's not the way things necessarily work. Sometimes you have to get that third team involved, and that's a kind of a stretch. It's a lot of moving parts that need to happen and fall into place just right in order for these blockbuster trades to happen. Will the Spurs do it? Who knows? Are they capable? Of course, but more than likely, like you said, Rudy, they're going to stand pat.
Yep.
Yeah, they are. And, we have some comments, saying it's going to be another it is what it is season. I think it is going to be another it is what it is season. And Sith is the same thing, like I said before the season started. Drafting Wemby, that's the concrete. That's the foundation poured. You've got your pillar right there. That's who you build on. That's your structure. So now you've got to insert the pieces, insert the players, and fill in these roles.
I like this screenshot here of Rudy, man. I got to grab this one. Beautiful. Rudy, I think you're kind of frozen here. So, Rock, let's go ahead and.
Yeah, I think Rudy froze on my end too. No, but just to tag along on you, man. I mean, I completely agree with the Spurs. It's going to be some tough conversations that they're going to have, and it's going to suck seeing fan favorites leave. But I mean, that's the only way you're going to get better. It's a business. All the players understand that. It's hard when you're a fan and connected to a player, but it is what it is if they want to get better to that extent.
Yeah, look at Edmund Ortiz says Spurs front office hopefully will be smart enough in securing 1 or 2 decent veterans who, along with their next draft pick, well, next year will build upon what we've been seeing this year. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I've been saying. You don't necessarily have to go out there and go after a big name or a superstar and dismantle the team. You can just go and surround Wemby again with some veterans that can actually shoot. That's all I'm saying. And that way it solidifies that you still have some money to go after maybe some big names in next year's draft if you want to. So we're going to bring Rudy back. Rudy, here you go. And I'm going to move over. There you are.
No, I was just saying that, a lot of the guys commenting are right. I mean, drafting Wemby was the first part, but he didn't equate. He wasn't going to bring in playoffs. He wasn't going to bring in play-in because you had the exact same team surrounding him. You didn't know what you were getting in Wemby. Let's be real. If you came in and you said flat out when they drafted him, he's going to have this kind of season, I'm going to call you an effing liar. Nobody predicted this kind of season for Wemby. Yeah. So if you did, what is the Rock? Well, not you, Rock, but the actual Rock, when he said is off is the direction you can fuck, basically. Yeah, I'm saying that. Nobody expected Wemby to have this kind of season. So you've got that squared away. But next season, you will have an improvement if you bring the same team along. Because now you know what you're getting out of Wemby. You can kind of position players around him. The current players you have, you can kind of position them in better situations. It's a full year. Do I expect playoffs? No. It's probably going to be 27, 28, maybe 30 wins, but I'm giving them a whole hell of a lot of credit at 30 wins. Chris is basically Leia saying, hey, they got to make some changes in the offseason. Everybody wants to see changes, but it's not that easy, man. It's really not that easy. I wish it was. I wish it was like NBA Live. We plug it in. We can make any trade we want happen and make the Spurs contenders right away. It's so tough to do it in this league. Players always say, I love Pop. I love Pop. But would they want to play for him? No, they don't want to play for Pop because if they did, they would have been in San Antonio a long ass time ago. Nobody wants to play for Pop. And it's not a knock on Pop at all.
I got to show you all this right now. I got to share this on the screen, man. As we start bringing, I know we're going to start bringing the show to a close. This is a policewoman, dude. They said she looks like a supermodel. And this is not going to be here in the States, man. But damn. I know Rock's ready to say I'm guilty.
Joe, so random.
I'm like, dude.
That is some hashtag USO.
Yeah, out of context, Joe.
Dude, I'm over here like y'all are talking, and I'm like squirrel.
That's so random. No, but I mean, just to keep tagging along, I just think personally, coming this season, we got to go back over teams and see how many wins we predicted. I know we did an episode when we predicted the amount of wins.
22 is what I had.
I got to check what I had, but I think the front office was probably, season, okay, like how Pop's, I'm going to just let Wemby do his thing. But I really think Wemby's, fast progression, honestly, opened their eyes. And if I had to make a prediction, I do think, they acquire, a vet or two, but they're not going to make that big splash move that everyone wants. But I think it's going to pressure them to make that vet move and, maybe look at a best player available in the draft to get those pieces around Wemby. Because, I think if Wemby would have had an okay season, it still would have been the same situation. But I think now Brian Wright probably had to think progressive. But like you said, it's not 2K. We can't make these trades so easily. I wish we could. But I really just want to see them improve, hopefully.
I'm going to tell you before we go, I'm going to say this because you brought up, best player of the draft and everything. Let me put it in perspective. Again, could I be wrong? 100%. I can be dead wrong. But evaluating talent, looking at players, studying NCAA, both football and basketball, getting ready for drafts and all. When you try to sell fans on Reed Shepherd of Kentucky and Rob Dillingham and all these other guys, this is how they would help the Spurs. They will make the Spurs a better team. They will do all this. You know what? I've always said, you can polish and shit shine a turd all fucking day. But at the end of the day, a turd is still a turd. I'm not calling these guys bad players, but they're role players. They're not going to have guys come in and be this, oh my God, we're pairing these guys with Wemby. Here we go. Playoff time. We're making the playoffs. No, it's not going to happen. Not this draft. And I just want everybody to be, again, could I be wrong? Yes, I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. Reed Shepherd could be the next coming to Kobe Bryant or whatever. I have no idea. But the eye test says everything. And for me, the eye test says that if you're excited for Austin Reeves to join the Spurs, then you're excited for Reed Shepherd to possibly join the Spurs. Is Austin Reeves a superstar? No, he's not a superstar. but that's basically what kind of you're getting with Austin Reeves. So if you feel Reed Shepherd's top 10, then Austin Reeves is a top 10 player. Sell yourself on that. But don't go into this offseason expecting a whole lot. If it happens, it happens. Great. Maybe they'll get a few more wins. Maybe they'll be a playoff team where they make the right moves. Who knows? But just go into the offseason with a clear mind and just understand that it's probably going to be the exact same team coming in for next Spurs season, man.
Yeah, I got some breaking news here, man. I'm looking right now at NBA.
I hope that girl is not naked, and that's your breaking.
No, man. I don't know. I'm not Jimenez, dude. Come on.
As it is, I'm getting text messages from their wife saying, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, no, I'm just playing.
Oh god, Joe's gonna show us another girl watch. She's like, hey, look,
No.
live at Market Square.
No, what I was looking at is looking at a post from NBA World on the X, and they're showing 2024 confirmed ballots for Defensive Player of the Year.
I saw
And
that.
how some of these, I guess, people in the media have voted. Victor Wembanyama so far only has 1, 2, 3, 4 votes, and it looks like the majority of everybody else is voting for Rudy Gobert. So it looks like Rudy Gobert is going to win by a landslide, dude.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was telling Jeff on an episode of Locked On Spurs. I said, does Wemby deserve defense player? In a sense, yes, he does. He does deserve it, but there's so many factors that play into these awards, and it sucks that they come in because you know what? Record plays a factor in these awards, and it's tough to say, like, to be honest, I think Gilchrist Alexander was your MVP this year because the Thunder got the number 1 seed in the West.
Mm-hmm.
I feel he's going to get the MVP this year. Record plays a fact. It plays a big part in it. It's a fact. And then there's other stats too that play a fact in it.
And guess how both JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins voted from the 4-letter network?
Had to be Gobert, right?
Of course, dude. It's Gobert. JJ Redick was the biggest Wembanyama hater in the beginning, saying that kid was going to be a bust. He's not very good. And then just recently, like a couple weeks ago, he had to backtrack and say he was sorry publicly for saying that about Wemby because he's like, no, this kid's pretty damn good. I'm like, yeah, you had to backtrack because your take was so bad and you hadn't seen enough of a sample size to put out that assessment yet. So all these Wemby haters in the beginning from all these major, let's say, 4-letter networks, FS1, ESPNs and all that, hating on Wemby early on in his season. I mean, they had to do a lot of, backtracking and eating some pie now.
Well, before we go, I will say this. I am one guy who at the beginning of the season, when they drafted Wemby, even before they drafted Wemby, I said for Victor Wembanyama, I expected 18 points and about 8 rebounds a game. I said he was going to struggle because I felt smaller guys were going to take advantage of his height, steal the ball from him, everything like that. I was one of the guys that was real skeptical about Wembanyama coming into the league. I felt his competition was no better than YMCA competition from, on overseas stuff. So I'm one of those guys. I've apologized to it all, but again, he proved me wrong. Is he generational? I can't say generational just yet. For me, generational doesn't happen in the first year. It happens over time where I can say you're a generational talent.
I'll say he's generational talent.
Yeah, and I have no qualms with that. You are perfect for that. Shout out Chris Leha. First round of beers on him. Hey man, I appreciate that super chat, man.
That's a beer at Oyster Bake right there. That's only one beer though.
That is an oyster bake beer.
That's what the Oyster Bake is. That's only one beer.
The man of the people, man.
Yeah, man of the people. He's the president of the USOA, right? The founder.
There we go.
And all that.
We should give him some love, Rudy. Let's give him some love.
Shout out to MCS General Contracting.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show the video. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
That is shout out to Chris Leha, MCS General Contracting, man. So Leha, for me, they said he's the head of the table. You got to show him love. He definitely is the head of the table when it comes to the USOA. Appreciate the love, man. First round of beers on Leha. And of course, we got to mention, if you see Rock and Fiesta anytime this week, take a picture with Rock, tag him, tag us on your social media. I'll hit you up with DMs. We got stuff to give away too. So
I think also if anyone sees me, we got to shotgun a beer together.
Oh yeah, there you go.
wow. That's
Or
on
chug,
you.
or chug. It's Fiesta. Come on.
That's on you, man. That is definitely on you, man. So again, if you see Rock out there, just give him a shout out, take a picture with him, show him some love. We'll definitely give away some stuff out there. But unless we got to bring the show to a close, man. Appreciate everybody coming back. It's been a fun comeback. Derek Irvin should be on next week, as well as Gio. We'll have pretty much the entire cast back next week. It's a return where every Friday, 3:00 p.m. I'm going to be coming on next week a little bit here and there. So you'll see me a little bit more next week. But again, definitely Fridays, you'll be hanging out with us here on Sweep the League. I'll try to make it on a Thursday from time to time. But like I said, Fridays is our day. Appreciate it, Sid, though, a lot. Hey, Tim, definitely. Everybody that shows support for Sweep the League, we appreciate you joining us. For Joe Garcia, for Rock, for myself, for anybody that, has, issues going on, work them out yourself, man. If you need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me, definitely. Whatever it is the case, we'll be back next week. That is Sweep the League, all part of the Alamo City Podcast Network. So we see you guys then. See you later, knuckleheads.